Magaling araw mga kasali! Ngayong umaga ay matutunghayan natin ang special broadcast para sa launching ng Tsek.ph. Ang Tsek.ph ay sinimulan ng University of the Philippines noong 2019. Ito ay bilang public service commitment na labanan ang disinformation. Nagsimula ang proyektong ito sa ilalim ng UP Office of the Vice President for Public Affairs sa pangunguna ng Department of Journalism ng UP College of Mass Communication. Noong 2019, pinagkaisa ng Tsek.ph ang 3 academic institutions at 10 media partners. Ngayong taon, mas dumami at lumawak pa ang mga kasali sa Tsek.ph. Isang DZUP sa mga media partners at ngayon tayo'y napapakinggan sa special broadcast on air at online. Napapakinggan tayo sa radyo 1602 kHz, pati na rin sa aming online streaming sa dzup.org at napapanood sa official Facebook ng istasyon. Hanapin lamang ang facebook.com/dzup1602am. Ngayong papalapit ang eleksyon, napakahalaga na suriin at siguruhin na tama ang mga impormasyon. Halina't samahan niyo kami ngayong umaga, sama-sama nating tunghayan ang launching ng Tsek.ph.
Good morning to all and welcome to the 2022 launch of Tsek.ph. We would like to announce that the event is being live streamed on our official Facebook account at www.facebook.com/Tsek.ph, as well as from the Facebook pages of DZUP and Barangay Hub. Do like and follow Tsek.ph's Facebook page for the latest fact-check updates from our partners or visit our website. To promote this morning's event, kindly use the hashtag #Tsek.ph, that's TSEKPH. But before we proceed, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Pipo Gonzalez, a project assistant for Tsek.ph, and I will be your host for today's program. This gathering marks another era in Tsek.ph's mission in fighting fake news. Since 2019, Tsek.ph, together with partnered media and academic institutions, have delivered its commitment in providing the public with verified information to counter disinformation. As another set of elections draws near, we invited our collaborators to join us once again in this noble initiative. And today, we have convened to show our support. Speaking of support, we would like to acknowledge and thank the extensive and cordial support of the UP system, specifically the Office of the Vice President for Public Affairs, the Google News Initiative represented here today by Irene J. Liu, the UP Journalism Department, and the UP CMC Foundation. To start our program, may we ask everyone to join in the singing of the Philippine National Anthem, to be followed by the opening remarks, which will be delivered by the University of the Philippines Vice President for Public Affairs, Dr. Elena E. Pernia.
Bayang magiliw, pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, buyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulubi, di ka masisingil, sa lagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mo bangag, may nilang ang tula at awit sa paglayang kailangan. Ang isang ng watawat mo'y nagumpay na nakikinig, ang bituin ng araw niya kailan pang ay magdidilig. Lupa ng araw ng maraming pagsita, buhay langit sa likod. Aming ligaya naman may mamagin, ang lahat ay nagdahil sa'yo.
A very warm greeting to everyone and my gratitude for your being here and for your commitment to Tsek.ph, our collaborative initiative of the academe and the media to counter disinformation and provide the public with verified information. It was 3 years ago that we launched Tsek.ph in a situation which was face-to-face. while we are meeting virtually, our commitment remains, I suppose. But before I proceed with my opening remarks, permit me to digress a little bit. While my undergraduate preparation was in journalism, my current academic discipline is in communication research, which is a multidisciplinary area of practice that follows both social scientific and humanities perspectives. In the late 1970s, when I was just a beginning instructor of Comres at UPCMC, one of the skills that the program sought to develop among its students was coding. If I remember correctly, there was a course in Comres where one of the main course outcomes was to develop practical knowledge and skills in coding, which was a transference of data into numbers 0 and 1. Now, we look at that as ancient practice. With all the developments in education, technology, and daily life, this course where we taught coding has been completely overhauled. Coding as a skill today has been redefined, but it continues to be taught and learned because programming is still important and necessary. And we have all our apps in our cell phones, in our computers that show us how programming is indeed necessary. My 7-year-old Apo has coding as a topic in one of his grade 2 subjects. And there are formal and non-formal courses in coding, which you and I, people who are younger or older, can take. In fact, coding is embedded in several community activities. Wouldn't it be great if this is how fact-checking develops? That the necessary skills for disinformation, for recognizing disinformation, are learned early in life? In the meantime, initiatives like Tsek.ph are vital and necessary, especially now when an enlightened Filipino citizenry is key to our successful elections. Everyone needs to learn about the value of the elections and to understand how information may be right or false. We must all realize, and I suppose most of us do, that the persons we give our vote to will impact several years of our lives. The Philippines has been overtaken by many of our neighbors in East and Southeast Asia. We need leaders who will not waste our time, our future, and who will tell us what is true. Hence, discontinuing Tsek.ph is very significant, even critical. Thank you for being here, and you will always have the support of the University of the Philippines system through the Office of the Vice President for Public Affairs with you as a partner. Thank you again. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you, Dr. Pernia. Next, to introduce our keynote speaker, may I call on Ms. Ellen Tordesillas, the President of Verifiles and a board member of the International Fact-Checking Network at Pointer.
Hi, magandang umaga sa lahat. Yeah, good morning. It's my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker today. When it comes to fact-checking collaboration, there's no one we can think of whose credentials are as sterling as that of our keynote speaker today, Mr. Baybars Orsec, the Director of the International Fact-Checking Network, the premier global coalition of fact-checking organizations. Baybars is also Director of International Programming, the Pointers Institute, the home base of IFCN. Under Baybars Watts, IFCN has grown to over 115 signatories spanning across the globe. Baybars' leadership in IFCN is characterized by its being attuned to the realities on the ground. At the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, IFCN formed the Coronavirus Alliance, which unites more than 100 fact-checkers around the world in publishing, sharing, and translating facts surrounding the coronavirus, which we still grapple with today. Before joining IFCN, Baybars founded Turkey's first and only political fact-checking project, Doğruluk Payı, which means share or truth, and Turkey's open data platform, Veri Kaynagi. Friends, let's welcome Mr. Baybars also.
Dear Alan, thank you so much for such a generous introduction. I'm very humbled and honored to be here today. And I just want to say good morning to the Philippines from Florida, United States. It's my pleasure to be here today, virtually at least, to join you for the launch of Tsek.ph, the pioneering collaboration in the country, which brings 20 academic, media, and civil society institutions together. This noble collaboration effort is a reminder of the importance of working together when facts under attack and fact-checking is more needed than ever. World's fact-checkers, under the umbrella of the International Fact-Checking Network, have been working together for many years. Founded back in 2015, the IFCN has been advocating for higher standards among the global fact-checking community. To fulfill that purpose, a code of principles for fact-checkers has been developed and introduced to the community in 2016. Code of Principles was immediately signed up by 35 organizations from 27 different countries after its launch in 2016. Facebook announced that they will rely on their third-party fact-checking program in December 2016 after an open letter to Mark Zuckerberg was signed by the community addressing the need for fighting against misinformation. Just recently, an open letter addressed to YouTube was signed by 85 different organizations from all around the world, including Verifiles and Rappler from the Philippines. This culture of collaboration and solidarity has been built by dozens of organizations around the world, practicing fact-checking to hold the powerful in their account and contribute to a healthier public discourse for their societies. We are grateful to the fact-checkers in our network for their tireless efforts and motivation, and I'm proud to say that your efforts in the Philippines have been providing the rest of the fact-checking community with hope and inspiration. Fact-checking today is at the intersection of accountability journalism and technology, serving the public through multi-layered publishing. We rate statements of politicians. Even sometimes we notarize the authenticity of all sorts of multimedia, and we put our credibility at stake while doing both. Health institutions and intergovernmental organizations have turned into fact-checkers to seek help in communicating factual information with people vulnerable to coronavirus misinformation. Authoritative and accurate information have become essential to address vaccine hesitancy and conspiracy theories targeting people's health and therefore our collective well-being as a global society. The Philippines will have elections in 104 days. A prominent community of fact-checkers is teaming up today to promote factual and accurate information until the elections and beyond. Tsek.ph is one of the most significant efforts in the world that has been carrying out its activities in such a collaborative way, and it has inspired so many collaborative initiatives among other fact-checkers. As the director of the International Fact-Checking Network, I thank you for reviving Tsek.ph and reminding everyone that the more we work together, the more impact we create. I recognize that the elections is around the corner and fact-checking will be receiving more scrutiny than ever in the Philippines. I strongly encourage everyone to honor nonpartisanship and transparency in this effort, as fact-checking is supposed to be an added speech over the ongoing discourse, but one with a commitment to facts and accuracy. Last but not the least, I share my admiration for Wan Cha, a leading figure in fact-checking and the coordinator of this effort, and Ellen Tordeillas and her magnificent team at Verifiles. and all other fact checkers, civil society leaders, academics, and journalists who are going to run this effort until the elections. People in the Philippines are fortunate to have you working for them in such an important time. The world has its eye on the Philippines, and I look forward to observing your work closely to share your experiences and best practices with the rest of the fact-checking community. Thank you so much, Ellen.
Thank you so much, Mr. Orsek. At this juncture, we will be introducing our Check.ph partners. May I request our designated representatives to kindly open your cameras and unmute yourselves once I call your distinguished organization to deliver your message, preferably your fact-checking initiative. Let's start with our academic partners. First is Asian Center for Journalism at the Ateneo de Manila University.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Ms. Luz.
Good morning.
Go ahead.
Good morning. I'm Luz Rimban, and we are very proud to be part of Check.ph. Ateneo and the Guidon are also planning to do fact-checking for the coming elections, and we'll be sharing our initiatives with the group and with the public in the coming weeks and months. So thank you, and we're very proud to be part of this esteemed group. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Ms. Luz. Let's move on to the next academic partner. Let's call on Trinity University of Asia Communication Department.
Good morning, everyone. We at Trinity University of Asia Media and Communication Department understand that our role in the academe is a significant responsibility, and we will make it a priority in the 2022 national elections. We look forward to working with this team, and like the others, we will contribute significantly to program activities. We will work with the rest of the team to communicate a role to our most important audiences. We will continually communicate with Check.ph and the main coordinator to ensure we understand all current engagements, and we will actively participate in all requests for our assistance and response for the benefit of the Filipino people. I'm Dr. Walter Yudelma, the academic head of the Media and Communication Department of Trinity University of Asia, confirm our commitment in this partnership. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Walter. Let's move on to our next academic partner, which is the University of the Philippines at Los Baños.
Hello, good morning. I'm Trina Mendoza. I'm an assistant professor. So the UPLB College of Development Communication partners with communities, organizations, and schools in and near Laguna in doing community reportage. So our next big challenge is Bantay Halalan Laguna, which we have been doing since the early 2000s, where we will report on the local elections with our partners through our main media platforms, Los Baños Times, a community newspaper, and Dito sa Laguna, our online cable TV program. So on behalf of UP Los Baños, we are thankful and proud to be part of Check.ph. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next is the UP Department of Journalism, represented by Fact Rakers and Fact Check Patrol.
Good morning. My name is Diosa, and I represent the Department of Journalism. Fact-checking is part of the curriculum of BA and MA Journalism in UP Diliman. Associate Professor Yvonne Chua teaches fact-checking to undergraduate and graduate students since 2016. There are two fact-checking initiatives in the department at present. The first one is the classroom-based Fact Rakers of Professor Chua, and the second one is the Fact Check Patrol, an extension work of under Professor Lucia Tangi and now headed by Mistress Reyes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ma'am Josa. Next, on our academic partners is University of Santo Tomas Journalism Program.
Good morning. My name is Felipe Salvosa II. I am from the University of Santo Tomas Faculty of Arts and Letters, specifically under the BA Journalism Program. As journalists and journalism educators, our first obligation is to the truth. And this aligns with our official university motto, Veritas in Caritate, Truth in Charity. Truth addressing the problem of disinformation, fighting fake news is our obligation to one another. The USC Journalism Program is proud to be part of this fact-checking collaboration. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you very much, sir. Let's move on to our civil society and multi-sectoral partners. Start off, we have Akademya at Bayan kontra Disinformasyon at Dayaan, or ABACADA.
Hello, good morning to all. I'm Francisco Guiyang. I am an assistant professor from the UP Department of History, and I'm one of the lead conveners of Akademya at Bayan kontra Disinformasyon at Dayaan. ABACADA is composed of academics, education workers, and progressive organizations who are committed to achieve the network's mandate, which is to conduct fact-checking, hold webinars about disinformation and fake news, conduct education seminars, and join in the Contra-Daya efforts in the upcoming elections this May. ABACADA is proud to be part of this fact-checking group and will work to fulfill our mandate. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We're moving on to the next civil society partner, which is Fact Check Philippines.
Hello. Good morning. Nagpapasalamat ang Fact Check Philippines para sa imbitasyon ng Tsek.ph para sa kampanya laban sa fake news, misinformation at disinformation. Naniniwala ang Fact Check Philippines na mahalaga ang laban o kampanya laban sa fake news para maging malinis ang halalan sa paparating na 2022. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, sir. Next, we have the Philippine Association for Media and Information Literacy.
Hi, I am Rosie Jane Mosquera, representing the Philippine Association for Media and Information Literacy, or PAMIL. We are a professional organization of media and information literacy educators, trainers, advocates, and practitioners. We are glad to be on board Tsek.ph and are committed to fight disinformation.
Thank you very much. Next, we have our media partners. Start off, we have ABS-CBN.
Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see you here. I am Jing Reyes, the head of integrated news of ABS-CBN. We've been a part of Tsek.ph since its inception in 2019. At that time, we were only a handful of media organizations and academic institutions, the first members of this fact-checking collaboration, the first of its kind in the country. This is the second halalan season that we are taking part in this initiative. But also, this is the first time we're covering an election with very limited resources due to the killing of our franchise renewal application. Still, ABS-CBN is committed to fight disinformation and provide the public with accurate and relevant information so they could make an informed choice in the elections. I am very glad to see how this group has grown to include more organizations that are committed to debunking outright lies and false narratives that intend to mislead voters. At a time when disinformation has become so rampant and the attacks against the truth and the truth tellers like us have become so vicious, it has become a necessity for us to come together as one voice, united to set things straight. This is an inherent part of our responsibility as journalists and citizens to hold those in power accountable and to uphold and protect a vibrant democracy where people can make decisions freely based on correct information. We are extremely thankful to the University of the Philippines, particularly the faculty and staff of the Department of Journalism under the College of Mass Communication, my alma mater, for initiating this collaboration once again. Muli, maraming salamat po at mabuhay tayong lahat.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Ging. Next, we have the DZUP of the UPCMC Department of Broadcast Communication.
Good morning po. I'm Ivy Claudio, the station manager of DZUP 1602. We at DZUP 1602 of the UPCMC Department of Broadcast Communication joins Tsek.ph and its partners in its commitment in fighting disinformation this 2022 elections. We are also launching our own campaign, Suri sa Halalan 2022, as part of our initiative this 2022 elections. Thank you very much po sa Tsek.ph.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ivy. Next, here is Fight.
Hello! Hi! Magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. It's nice to see everyone in this forum. Kami po ay mula sa Fight Media at 10 ng aking mga kasama. Ako po si Ato Maraulio at binabati ko po lahat na nandito sa Tsek.ph sa muling paglulunsad nito at napapanahon na ating participation ngayon lalo sa panahon ng eleksyon ay lumalawak uli at umiigting ang pagkalat ng maling impormasyon o yung fake news sa internet at sa komunidad. Sa pamamagitan ng aming Reporters from Home program, sisikapin po naming makapag-ambag ng fact-check at napapanahong kwento mula sa mga probinsya. Hangad namin ang tagumpay ng fact-checking collaboration na ito na pinangungunahan ng Department of Journalism ng UP College of Mass Communications kasama ang academic circles natin, ang civil liberty at media partners nito. Pagpatuloy po natin at palakasin pa natin ang ating pagkakaisa. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, sir. Next is Interaction and Philstar.com.
Hello, everyone. I'm Camille Diola, editor of two digital news outlets, Philstar.com and Interaction, and an alumna of UPCMC. Our teams believe that returning as part of Tsek.ph, which we helped start in 2018, is an expression of our passion to fact-check, question, qualify, challenge, and provide context to information and disinformation at the most crucial time. It is for us an old and new tradition to fact check and fact check fast, even in real time across platforms. In recent years, we rolled out fact checks in Filipino in various short video formats, even on TikTok. So it is such a pleasure to contribute to and work alongside colleagues in the academia and media whose efforts we admire and are motivated by. Despite the perceived competition, we all share one mission after all, that is to keep power in check and BS at bay. So it is only right and it is a necessity that we set differences aside and work in concert through Tsek.ph. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Ms. Camille. Next, let's call on the representative from Mindanao.
Good morning, I'm Carol Argilias. Maayong buntag sa inyong tanan gikan dinhi sa Mindanao. Mindanao is honored to be part of Tsek.ph. This is our second time also in this collective endeavor and collective commitment to provide the public with accurate information to help them become informed citizens in their everyday lives and during this election season, and to hold those in power accountable for spreading false or misleading claims. As a Mindanao-based, Mindanao-focused media organization, we will continue to tell the stories of Mindanao from the lenses of Mindanao and help provide context to issues related to Mindanao, especially during this crucial election. We only have 105 days until May 9, 2022. Daghang salamat.
Thank you very much, Ms. Carol. Next, let's have the Philippine Press Institute.
Isang malaking check na morning sa ating lahat. My name is Ariel C. Sabellino, Executive Director of and Trustee at the Philippine Press Institute. We at the Philippine Press Institute, also known as the National Association of Newspapers, supports a stronger Tsek.ph. Just as we commit to our own mandate as an organization, we bind ourselves to the noble and ennobling intentions and ideals of fact-checking. Today, more than ever, we should all unite to free ourselves from the bondage of infodemic. Isang malaking check para sa Tsek.ph. Mabuhay ang isang bansang malaya sa kasinungalingan at naninindigan sa katotohanan at malayang pamamahayag. Maraming salamat po.
All right, let's move on to our next media partner, which is Probe.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Probe is very honored to be part of this initiative. As an independent media organization specializing in videos, we are committed to help Tsek.ph through informational content on fact-checking. We are also working on a fact-checking series using our archival footage from Probe's coverage since 1986. Ang tawag namin mga resibo. So panahon na para ilabas ang resibo. Maraming salamat sa oportunidad para labanan ng disinformation at protektahan ng katotohanan. Salamat muli.
Thank you very much, Ms. Jen. Let's call on Verifiles.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Chin Samson, the head of the online verification team of VeraFiles. VeraFiles is one with the goal of Check.ph to provide Filipinos with accurate information they need to become informed citizens. We are happy to again be part of that collaboration 3 years since we first banded together during the 2019 midterm polls. Today, we do this with more friends and colleagues from the media, academe, and civil society. We are committed to holding truth to power, to challenge and correct false and misleading claims from public figures, including those from the candidates, as well as to correct disinformation that circulates online and give context where it is needed. We will also continue to empower more Filipinos with the skill and know-how to fact-check through workshops and training. Together, let's all work towards a more truthful election season. Thank you.
Good morning, I am Romel Lopez of Press1.ph, joining here from Mindanao. Press1.ph is an independent news and information website covering the Philippines for the Filipino and global audiences. Our mission is to provide opinion and news that empower readers and help make sense of the digital and interconnected world. Press1.ph will be deliberate in its news coverage, believing that good journalism requires verification and credible sourcing, especially in the era of 24/7 news, digital platforms, and social media. We hold that journalism is essentially a discipline of verification whose first obligation is to the truth and whose first loyalty is to the citizens. Press1.ph is proud to be part of Check.ph and to join forces with like-minded individuals and groups to fight disinformation, especially in this crucial time of our country's democracy. Thank you and good morning to everyone.
Thank you very much, sir. A huge thank you to our partners for being here this morning. So to tell us more about the website, may I call on Dr. Rachel Ican, Associate Dean of the UP College of Mass Communication and Chair of the UP Journalism Department.
Thank you. This is the Check.ph website, which I am honored to introduce to you today. As you can see, it has been rebooted and redesigned from the 2019 website. It now has other features aside from the articles. But first, let me go and show you this is the homepage where we'll be posting the weekly update, the current weekly update, as well as the called fact checks from the different partners. So you would see the latest fact checks here posted on the homepage, which will link you back to the partner website where you can read fully the fact check. This is also on the homepage, you will also find the list of Check.ph partners, which continue to grow. And we are still receiving some indicators of various organizations that want to join Check.ph, as well as the hot topics for the week. For easy reference. The About page will also show the ratings that we will be using for Check. So apart from the individual ratings used by the partners, the Check Secretariat will unify this through the ratings scheme of the collaboration, which you will find the description on the About Us page. We will also be featuring a weekly update and an archive of the past updates, which can be accessed again through the website. And finally, to test our knowledge and retention of these fact checks, the last page on the website will be the quiz. This will also be shared on the Check.ph Facebook page, as well as the Twitter and Viber groups of Check.ph. Turn you over back to people, and we hope that you will also promote the website and the Facebook, Twitter, and Viber accounts.
Thank you, Professor Khan. Before we end this program, may we ask everyone to turn on their video for a photo opportunity. For the Check.ph partners, kindly show your Check pledge and our hashtag on your screens. Okay? All right. Thank you, everyone. Last but not the least, may we call on the Dean of the UP College of Mass Communication and President of the UP CMC Foundation, Dr. Arminda Santiago, for some closing words.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks, Pipo. No, that's how I call you, Pipo.
Yes, pa.
Okay. So my signal is unstable, so I'll just use my profile picture. So anyhow, a pleasant good morning to everyone. It's been almost 6 years now. Actually, we are very close to Election Day. As the political cycle of our nation goes, the Filipino people is once again on the brink of selecting the new leadership of the country. Many look at the national elections as a roller coaster ride because of the frenzied campaign sorties that take place, literally taking the intended voter on a roller coaster of campaign promises. Others look at it as a circus that comes to town every 6 years, with all sorts of personalities being banded as the right choice for changes and reforms. But with the COVID-19 pandemic that descended on us in 2020 and still continues on today, this scenario has slightly changed. The arena of campaigns is no longer in the streets or on constructed stages and platforms. Give or take some candidates who still insist on face-to-face gatherings, but supposed to be with limited audiences and the requirement for the observance of minimum health protocols. Cyberspace is the new arena, especially in social media, as well as other internet-based media. When internet-based media was used to be conduit of text messages and meanings and was used as a mediation and mediatization tool, with the pandemic, inter-based media has evolved to be not just the main source of information, but it has evolved paradoxically to be a stabilizing and destabilizing platform for society where misinformation and disinformation proliferate. And we witness this on an everyday basis, most pronounced now in this election season. As the elections draw nearer and nearer, the battleground for campaigns that is being sought or being waged in social media with the sprinkling of few face-to-face campaign rallies. But now we get the big television networks that have provided space for the candidates, both free and cable TV. And against the backdrop of a raging pandemic, the elections and all its accoutrements seem to be oblivious to the reality of an infectious disease that has affected a large population of our country, and many of our countrymen have also died. Digital technology, yes, it has taken center stage today, and the concern is in developing the digital literacy of our voting population by emphasizing the importance of fact-checking so that we are not sutured and lulled into misinformation and disinformation. Tsek.ph is a way to develop the digital citizenship and digital literacy of our people. A digital citizen is a person who has knowledge and skills to effectively use digital technologies to communicate with others and participate in society and create and consume digital content. It is literacy in itself, but not limited to being just a digital savvy. A more conscientious justification is that this is the power to battle it out with forces that destroy the primary purpose of equipping citizenry to reclaim spaces for social good, because it has been demonized and bastardized for vested interests. Today, more than any time, we need to recalibrate our works as academics, media practitioners, and content providers to face head-on the challenges and problems of social media and technologies being usurped and weaponized for political gains, for propaganda and corporate interests, and whose interests engulf the very aspirations of a people wanting for a better quality of life. Digitally naive or native would mean embracing the overarching need to unequivocally dismiss and reject disinformation, misinformation, and malinformation, whose proliferation is increasingly a fodder for megalomaniacal gains. which defeat the primary purpose of truthfulness of all our professional endeavors, including the duty to safeguard facts from eroding or fading from public view. This is, I borrowed from our partner, Mr. Ariel Severino of PPI. Okay? And today is an auspicious day with today's launch of Tsek.ph. As its website describes, it is a collaborative fact-checking project for the 2022 Philippines election, an initiative of academe and media to counter disinformation and provide the public with verified information. It also builds on its success as a pioneering collaborative project in the 2019 elections. And it is guided by the Code of Principles of the International Fact-Checking Network. And it is committed to fairness and non-partisanship, transparency of sources, funding, and methodology, and openness to corrections. And it is also good to know that Tsek.ph is under a Creative Commons with attribution license. Tsek.ph affirms the commitment of the UP College of Mass Communication in educating and training our public, in being diligent, and in upholding the importance of truth and genuine information. We thank the support of the University of the Philippines system through the Office of the Vice President for Public Affairs. We thank the support of the UP College of Mass Communication, the UP College of Mass Communication Foundation Incorporated, our academic institution partners, media organizations, and civil society organizations who are collaborators in this worthwhile project. Thanks to the support and partnership with Google News Initiative, and thank you too to the International Fact-Checking Network at Poitiers. Thank you very much and have a good day and a COVID-safe day.
Thank you very much, Dean Army. So this concludes this morning's program. Thank you, everyone, and may the facts be our guide in the May 9 elections. Goodbye.
Makasali natunghayan natin ng live launching ng Tsek.ph, isang collaborative fact-checking initiative kaugnay ng nalalapit na eleksyon 2022 dito sa Pilipinas. Magpapatuloy ang ating matinong usapan para sa maunlad na bayan dito sa DZUP. Susunod ng programang Serbisyong Tatak UP. Muli, magandang umaga dito sa DZUP 1602. Kasali ka!